How vaccines work against the Delta variant. Scientists agree that the best defense against the Delta variant is to get full two-dose vaccination against coronavirus. The Delta variant of the coronavirus first identified in India is a cause for global concern, with studies showing it is more contagious and resistant to vaccines than other forms of COVID. But there is also evidence vaccine retain important effectiveness against Delta after two doses. Here is what we know about how variants respond to jabs. Fewer antibodies. Several lab tests show that the Delta variant seems to have stronger resistance to vaccines than other variants do. A British study published in the Lancet Medical Journal in early June looked at levels of neutralizing antibodies produced in vaccinated people exposed to the Delta, Alpha first identified in Britain and Beta first identified in South Africa variants. It found that antibody levels in people with two doses of the Pfizer BioNTech shot were 6 times lower in the presence of the Delta variant than in the presence of the original COVID 19 strain on which the vaccine was based. The alpha and beta variants also provoke lower responses with 2.6 times fewer antibodies for alpha and 4.9 times fewer for beta. A French study from the Pasteur Institute concluded that neutralizing antibodies produced by vaccination with the Pfizer BioNTech jab are 3 to 6 times less effective against the Delta variant than against the Alpha variant. But vaccines still work. Although they represent an essential marker, the levels of antibodies measured in a lab are not enough to determine the efficacy of a vaccine. In particular, they do not take into account a second immune response in the form of killer T cells, which attack already infected cells and not the virus itself. As a result, real world observations are crucial to measuring vaccine effectiveness, and the first results are reassuring. According to data published on Monday by Public Health England, vaccination with Pfizer, BioNTech, and AstraZeneca is as effective at preventing hospitalization in the case of the Delta variant as it is in the case of an Alpha variant. Two doses of the Pfizer BioNTech jab prevent 96% of hospitalization due to the Delta variant, while AstraZeneca prevents 92% according to a study involving 14,000 people. Previous data released by British health authorities at the end of May come to similar conclusions for less serious forms of the illness. The Pfizer BioNTech vaccine is 88% effective against symptomatic COVID caused by the Delta variant 2 weeks after the second dose, while the jab is 93% effective for cases caused by the Alpha variant. AstraZeneca shows efficacy of 60% against cases caused by the Delta variant and 66% in the case of Alpha. Scottish authorities published similar data on Monday in the Lancet. The team behind the Sputnik 5 jab, meanwhile, tweeted on Tuesday that there was more efficient against the Delta variant than any other vaccine that published results on this strain so far. They did not publish results but said study by the Gamaleya Center, a Russian research institute, had been submitted for publication in an international peer-reviewed journal. One dose not enough. Among authorized vaccines, only one developed by Janssen is given in one dose instead of two, and not enough data exists to determine its effectiveness against the Delta variant. For other lab and real-world tests, both conclude that one dose of any vaccine only gives limited protection against the Delta variant. After a single dose of Pfizer BioNTech, 79% of people had a quantifiable neutralizing antibody response against the original strain, but this fell to 32% for B.1.617.2, says the lab study from June. The Pasteur Institute found that a single dose of AstraZeneca would have little to no efficacy against the Delta variant. Data from British government confirms the tendency in real-world scenarios. Both vaccines were 33% effective against symptomatic cases caused by Delta 3 weeks after the first dose, compared to around 50% effectiveness against the Alpha variant. In the UK, where the Delta variant is now responsible for 96% of new cases, these findings pushed the government on Monday to reduce the waiting period between doses from 12 weeks to 8 weeks for people over 40. In France, the wait has been reduced to 3 weeks from 5 or a second dose of Pfizer BioNTech and Moderna vaccines. Pfizer BioNTech jab does, however, offer very high protection against hospitalization due to the Delta variant after one dose. Shots and social distancing. Scientists agree that the best defense against the Delta variant is to get a full 2-dose vaccination against coronavirus. Top French scientist Jean-Francois Delfraissy says creating a block of vaccinated people will keep the Delta variant from spreading throughout the population. A US study from June 10 points to the importance of vaccination to keep the list of variants from growing. Increasing the proportion of the population immunized with current safe and effective authorized vaccines remain a key strategy to minimize the emergence of new variants and end COVID-19 pandemic, it says. Thank you.